Okay, so we're going to get started. Now, I have never done the one on the bottom, this interlocking piece right here. It looks really cool, so I'm pretty excited about doing something new because you don't normally get to do new things when you're a teacher. So, I'm going to be struggling along with you for that one. If at any point you don't think you're going to be able to handle that one, the top design here is totally accessible. It's not too hard to do, and you can get some really, really cool designs if you color it in an organized pattern. So once we get the 10 points drawn, if you want to do the top drawing, that is your choice. That's fine. Or you can try the challenge of the interlocking thingamajigs.
Wait, what is this?
Jared, I love chess. However, I don't want you to be playing chess right now. I will keep that permanently if I need to. I would love an iPad or whatever it is.
It's not an iPad.
I'll take a Nook too. All right, so you're going to start the same way you normally start, with a center point and a circle. Now, we've learned in the 5-point constructions that you are probably better off making a circle that is not overly huge. Then you're going to draw your diameter. And now, since we're doing a 10-point construction,
Quiet.
since we're doing a 10-point construction, we're now going to take the compass without changing the setting, and we're going to draw arcs to break the circle into 6 equal segments. There we go. And then we're going to take our ruler, and you're going to connect the intersection of this point with this point, the intersection of this point with this point. I'm going to use my straight line tool here. And so I'm connecting these points of intersections. Okay, let's try it again. It's not working, of course. Let's try it again. Oh, it's white. No longer didn't work. So I'm connecting this point of intersection, this point of intersection, this point of intersection with this point of intersection. And I think I may have been a little bit off, so I'm going to do it again, just because accuracy is really super important in this. So now I need my perpendicular bisector. So to create my perpendicular bisector, I'm going to place the compass point at the intersection of one of the circles and the diameter. I'm going to open my compass past the halfway point, make an arc above and below the diameter, and then I'm going to repeat this step on the opposite intersection of the diameter and the circle, so that I have intersecting arcs above and below.
Are we supposed to make it past halfway? Oh, I already messed up.
Then I'm going to use my ruler to draw my perpendicular bisector. Oops, I'm using the wrong tool. And so at this point, I have 2 chords and 2 diameters. And my 2 diameters are perpendicular to each other. And my chords are perpendicular to this diameter. And I'm ready to move on. So then, my next step, as I trip over my chords, my next step is I need to verify that I have in fact broken my original diameter into 4 equal segments. So I place my compass point at the center, pencil point at the intersection of a chord and the original diameter, and I measure across. That's looking pretty good. Measure this one, make sure it's right. Measure this one, make sure it's right. And looks like I might be a little short. Oh. Okay, so I think I'm going to be okay here. So my next step is to draw circles, smaller circles. So now I'm going to make my 2 circles. And make them in gray.
Dude, I already messed up.
So to make my 2 circles, I place my compass point at the intersection of a chord and the original diameter and make my circle. Then I do the exact same thing on the other intersection of the chord and my diameter. And so my circles meet, they're tangent to each other right at the center point, and they are also tangent with the large circle. So now it's time to make my bird's beak, so to speak. And so I'm going to do that by connecting the center of my small circle with the intersection of the circle and my perpendicular bisector. Do the same up the other side. So I get my bird's beak. So now I'm going to take my compass point, place it on the intersection of at the tip of the bird's beak and the circle. And I'm going to measure along the bird's beak to the intersection of the beak and the circle. And I'm going to create I want this to be red. That seems to be working. So now my arc is tangent to my 2 small circles. Then I place the compass point on the intersection of my arc and my large circle. I think I have that point. If I don't, I'll have to redo this measuring piece. So then I measure so that the tip of my pencil is there we go, touching the intersection here. And so then I'm going to flip this around, draw an arc, place the compass point on the intersection of my red arc and my circle, make another arc, and now I'm going to check to see if these are in the right place. If I've done everything right, we're pretty close, pretty close. It's going to go, this is perfect, right through the intersection of my perpendicular bisector and there we go, and the edge of the circle. So right now I know I've done everything right. So we have our 5 points for our original pentagon. So let's go ahead and make our pentagon.
All the Pentagon part. Oh my god.
And so I'm going to make it in this red color. So this point to this point, 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 and then back up here. So we have our pentagon. Now, we have a couple options. But before we go any further, let's erase some of these construction lines so that it's easier to see what you're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase that red arc. I'm going to erase my 2 smaller circles. I'm going to erase the bird's beak. I'm going to erase these arcs because I don't need them anymore. I'm going to erase this arc and this arc. And I also no longer need these chords. So now my drawing is far, far cleaner. It's helpful to do that. Now my next step is I'm going to connect some points of intersection. I'm going to connect this point with this point. I'm going to make my star, in fact. So go ahead and make your star. And the reason why we want our star is so that we can find our other 5 points that we need. So, yeah, you can erase most of the construction lines.
God, I can't figure it.
So now we are going to connect
Look how bad. Don't erase like that. Look at the line.
our vertex with this crossing point, and I'll extend it through so that I go through the circle, and it should go through the middle. So through the middle, through this point, through the middle, through this point. I already have that one. Through the middle, through this point. That one was a little bit off.
Stop.
And so now I have my other points. So at this point, I will continue. All right, so we're going to go from what we have here to this. And it's really quite easy. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to connect all of the points together. So I'm going to start with this one right here, just for fun. I'm going to connect this point with this point. Well, that's one connection. This point to this point, that's 2. This point to this point, thank you, that's 3. This point to this point, so that's 4. This point to this point, but it's already done, it's a diameter, so that's 5. Here's my 6th. Here's my 7th. Here's my 8th. And then here's my 9th. And I'm going to repeat that for all of my points. So this to this one's already done. Here to here, 2. 3 is already done. 4 is already done. 5 is already done. 6. 7's already done. There we go. And so I'm going to continue that all the way around the circle. Got that one, got that one. There's that one. There's that one. Already have it. There's that one. Over here. Over here. And over here. Now I'm on this one. Have it. Have. Over here. Already have that one. Already have that. There you go. So now, you notice as you go through, you have less to do from each corner. And that's actually a quadratic relationship, the number that you have to do each time. Already have that one. So there's my next one. There's my next one. And this one, I just have that one remaining. That one, I just have this one remaining. And so now I have everything I need. The only thing I don't have is this center point right here. So I'm going to take my compass. I'm going to close it. And I'm going to draw my circle. I can erase that piece in the circle, and I will end up with that drawing. And you can color it as you wish. An organized pattern will make it look the best.